The world doesn't stop for your pain. It doesn't pause when you feel weak. Life will test you with pressure, uncertainty, and moments that make you want to quit. But here's the truth. You don't get to choose if challenges come. You only get to choose how you face them. Toughness of the mind isn't a luxury, it's survival. Because if you don't learn to strengthen your mindset, the world will gladly break it for you. Embrace discomfort, as training growth doesn't happen when everything is easy. It happens in the friction of struggle, in the moments when your patience is tested and your strength is stretched. Discomfort is not a punishment. It's the curriculum of life, designed to prepare you for challenges you don't yet see. If you try to avoid it, you miss the very lessons that make you stronger. Every setback you face is a form of training. That failure you thought broke you was actually shaping you. That rejection you feared was redirecting you. Discomfort teaches in ways success never can. It humbles you, it forces you to adapt, and it sharpens the edges you didn't know you had. The very experiences you once wished away often become the foundation for your resilience. The pain you feel in hard times is not meaningless, it's conditioning. Just as muscles tear before they grow, your mind must endure strain before it toughens. Think of each challenge as mental weightlifting. The heavier the burden, the stronger the mind that carries it. The discomfort of today becomes the strength you rely on tomorrow if you're willing to endure it long enough. Most people run from what scares them, but growth demands the opposite. The unknown, the difficult, the uncomfortable. These are the places where courage is built. You don't build bravery by staying safe. You build it by walking directly into situations that make your hands shake and your heart race. What once terrified you becomes manageable, not because the world got easier, but because you got stronger. Discomfort also reveals your blind spots. It strips away the illusion of control and shows you who you really are under pressure. Do you crumble when the plan falls apart? Or do you adapt? Do you retreat when things get hard? Or do you persist? Without discomfort, these truths stay hidden. With it, you learn exactly what needs strengthening. Training the mind to embrace discomfort doesn't mean seeking misery. It means seeking growth in places where comfort has nothing to teach you. Comfort feels good in the moment, but it leaves you unprepared. Discomfort feels unbearable in the moment, but it leaves you capable. The choice is whether you want temporary ease or lasting strength. When you reframe discomfort as training, everything changes. Struggles stop feeling like obstacles and start feeling like opportunities. Each difficulty is not something happening to you, but something happening for you. That perspective shift transforms the way you face challenges. You stop resenting them and start using them. Leaning into discomfort conditions you for the unpredictable. Life will not ask if you're ready before it tests you. It will come with surprises, with sudden losses, with unforeseen challenges. The only preparation you have is the resilience you build beforehand. By choosing discomfort now, you prepare your mind to meet the unknown with steadiness instead of fear. Build discipline over motivation. Motivation is a spark, but sparks fade quickly. You can't build a fire that lasts on sparks alone. Discipline, on the other hand, is the steady fuel that keeps the flame alive long after the excitement is gone. The people who succeed are not the ones who wait to feel motivated. They are the ones who keep showing up when motivation has already left the room. Motivation is emotional. It rises when things feel good and disappears when challenges appear. Discipline is unemotional. It doesn't care how you feel in the moment. Discipline says, do it anyway. That's why discipline is stronger. When you rely only on motivation, your progress is at the mercy of your moods. When you rely on discipline, your progress becomes non-negotiable. Think about it. Anyone can wake up on a good day and chase their goals. That doesn't separate the strong from the weak. What separates them is the ability to get out of bed on the bad days, to go to work when you're tired, to keep pushing when your enthusiasm has run dry. Discipline is the quiet force that moves you forward when no one is watching. Discipline isn't about perfection. It's about consistency. You won't always get it right, but you will always show up. The act of showing up again and again, even when it's hard, builds a rhythm. That rhythm becomes habit, and habit becomes identity. Eventually, you don't just practice discipline, you become disciplined. When you rely on motivation, failure feels final. But when you build discipline, failure becomes part of the process. You learn to get back up, to reset, and to continue the work. Discipline doesn't prevent setbacks. It teaches you not to stop when they happen. That resilience is what makes your progress unstoppable. Motivation focuses on outcomes. It makes you chase the reward. Discipline focuses on process. It makes you chase the work. When you shift your focus to process, the results take care of themselves. Success becomes a byproduct, not the only reason you move forward. That shift creates a toughness that cannot be shaken by disappointment. Discipline also frees you from the illusion of waiting for the right time. There is no perfect mood, no perfect energy, no perfect conditions. If you wait for them, you'll wait forever. Discipline teaches you that the best time to start is now, no matter what state you're in. Action builds momentum, and momentum creates its own motivation. The truth is simple. Discipline is not glamorous. It's repetitive, unexciting, and often thankless. But that's where its power lies. Motivation is loud and fleeting. Discipline is quiet and lasting. The ones who endure, the ones who achieve, are the ones who make discipline their foundation. The most powerful conversations you'll ever have won't be with others, they'll be with yourself. Your inner dialogue is constant, and it shapes how you see the world. If that voice is full of doubt, criticism, and fear, it will sabotage you before anyone else gets the chance. If that voice is trained to be steady, honest, and empowering, it becomes your greatest ally. Your thoughts are not just background noise. They're instructions to your mind and body. Tell yourself you can't, and your brain will start finding reasons why you're right. Tell yourself you can, and it will begin looking for ways to make it true. The narrative you feed yourself is the blueprint for your behavior. Most people let their inner voice run wild, echoing every insecurity and amplifying every mistake. They become prisoners of their own thoughts. But strength comes when you take control of that narrative. It's not about lying to yourself or pretending everything is fine. It's about choosing language that fuels you instead of drains you. Imagine facing a setback. One voice says, "You've failed again. You're not good enough." Another voice says, "This didn't work, but here's what I learned. Here's how I'll adjust." The situation hasn't changed, but the dialogue has. One voice leads to paralysis. The other leads to progress. That's the difference between being broken by failure and being built by it. Training your inner dialogue takes awareness. You have to catch the words you use on yourself, especially in moments of stress. The same way an athlete trains their body, you must train your language. Replace "I can't" with "I will try." Replace "I'm terrible at this" with "I'm learning this." Small shifts in words create massive shifts in mindset. Your inner dialogue also sets the tone for resilience. When life feels overwhelming, the words you speak to yourself either calm the storm or fuel the chaos. A tough mind doesn't silence fear, it speaks louder than fear. It doesn't deny difficulty, it affirms the ability to endure it. This is how you build an inner voice that steadies you when everything outside feels uncertain. What you say to yourself in private echoes in how you show up in public. Confidence, courage, and presence are not accidents. They are reflections of the voice inside. When your inner dialogue is aligned with strength, you carry that strength into every room, every challenge, every relationship. Mastering your inner dialogue is not about perfection, it's about direction. The voice in your head will always be there. The question is, will it break you down or will it build you up? The choice is yours every single day. Learn to detach from outcomes. One of the hardest lessons to learn is that you cannot control results. You can influence them, work toward them, and prepare for them, but you cannot guarantee them. When your entire identity is tied to outcomes, you become fragile. Success inflates you, failure destroys you. The key to mental toughness is learning to detach from outcomes and anchor yourself in effort instead. When you focus only on results, you live in constant anxiety. Every setback feels personal. Every delay feels like proof that you're not enough. But when you shift your focus to the process, the actions you take, the discipline you keep, you find stability. Outcomes may swing up and down, but your commitment remains steady. That steadiness is what builds resilience. Detaching from outcomes doesn't mean you stop caring about success. It means you stop letting success or failure define your worth. Winning feels good, but it doesn't make you invincible. Losing hurts, but it doesn't make you worthless. Your value isn't determined by the scoreboard, it's determined by the effort and growth you bring to the game. Think about how athletes train. They can't control every bounce of the ball, every call from the referee, or every move their opponent makes. What they can control is how hard they practice, how well they execute, and how consistently they show up. That mindset doesn't just make them better players, it makes them tougher people. When you detach from outcomes, you also free yourself from the fear of failure. Failure stops being a final judgment and becomes feedback instead. You can look at mistakes without shame and use them as stepping stones forward. Instead of asking, "Did I win?" you start asking, "What did I learn?" That shift keeps you growing no matter what the result looks like. Chasing outcomes also creates burnout. You begin to obsess over what you can't control and lose sight of why you started in the first place. Detachment brings clarity. It allows you to see the bigger picture. You stop running in circles for validation and start moving forward with purpose. The work becomes its own reward. This way of thinking builds flexibility. If one path doesn't work out, you're not shattered. You simply adapt and move to another. You're no longer rigidly tied to a single outcome. You're fluid, capable of adjusting without breaking. That adaptability is one of the greatest signs of a strong mind. In the end, results will always come and go. Success today can disappear tomorrow. Failure today can set up victory tomorrow. The only thing that remains constant is your effort, your discipline, and your mindset. When you root your identity in those, no outcome has the power to break you. Surround yourself with pressure that builds, not breaks. The environment you choose is as powerful as the mindset you build. The people around you shape your standards, your habits, and your vision of what's possible. If you surround yourself with negativity, excuses, and complacency, no amount of willpower will protect you from being pulled down. But if you place yourself in environments of challenge and accountability, you'll be forced to grow stronger. Pressure is not always destructive. The right kind of pressure sharpens you. It pushes you beyond what you thought you could handle. Think of coal under pressure. It doesn't crumble, it transforms into a diamond. The same principle applies to the mind. Surrounded by people who expect more from you, who won't let you settle, you are challenged into becoming your strongest self. The wrong kind of pressure, however, breaks you. It comes from environments where criticism outweighs encouragement, where jealousy overshadows support, and where small-mindedness discourages ambition. Those settings don't toughen your mind, they poison it. Mental strength is not only about what you endure, it's about what you choose to walk away from. Building resilience requires intentional community. You need voices that call you out when you're slacking, but also lift you up when you stumble. People who remind you of your standards, not your excuses. Pressure from the right circle doesn't belittle you. It stretches you. It makes you uncomfortable, but in a way that forces growth, not in a way that erodes your spirit. Look at any high-performing team, whether in sports, business, or the military. What makes them formidable is not individual toughness, but the environment of shared accountability. Each person knows the others depend on them. That collective pressure doesn't crush them, it unites them. It forges a standard where quitting is not an option, and where resilience is non-negotiable. You can measure the strength of your circle by asking one question: do these people make me better? If the answer is no, you're in the wrong room. Surround yourself with people who challenge your excuses, who believe in your potential, who demand more than your comfort allows. That is the kind of pressure that turns weakness into strength. It's also about choosing environments that elevate your vision. If you're always the smartest, strongest, or hardest working person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Growth happens when you're humbled by the presence of people ahead of you. Their example becomes a silent form of pressure that inspires you to raise your game. The truth is, you can't avoid pressure, but you can choose the kind that surrounds you. Seek out the pressure that challenges without crushing, that stretches without breaking. Because when the world tests you, and it will, the toughness built in those environments is what ensures you don't shatter under the weight.